everybody! My name is Lisa and you're watching the Stop Drop In It podcast. This is episode 80. I am so glad to be back with you all today. It is December 26th. We have just finally survived the holiday craziness and I got a lot of sleep last night, which was much needed after a couple of days of a couple glasses of wine 2 nights in a row. So I'm feeling refreshed. I'm drinking lots of water today and just kind of taking a chill day and recovering. So I know it's been a long while since I've had a podcast episode, and I'm really happy to be here right now. I was supposed to be recording a live Zoom with Tabitha tonight from Long Island Yarn and Farm for her 12 days of Christmas. She's having different guests each night for 12 days, and we were supposed to kick it off tonight with me, and she came down with a stomach bug, unfortunately. So she had to cancel, and I found myself with a quiet, empty house. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity to record a podcast episode because it has been so long since I have sat down and chatted with you guys and checked in. So let's see, Bryce and Owen are out at the movies seeing the new Migration movie, which I actually really wanted to see too, but I'm not so much a movie theater person, so I'm cool with waiting till later. So I hope everybody had a nice holiday, and let's catch up. Starting with, what am I wearing? So since we are in the Christmas season still, I am wearing today my Garland pullover, which was a pattern that I test knit for Stephanie Lotven of Telly Bean Knits 2 years ago. I think it's been about 2 years. So if you are a returning visitor, you will have seen this one before, most likely, and heard it talked about a lot. And if you're new, welcome. I'm so glad that you found me and are tuning in. So I'll tell you about this sweater since, it's been a while since I've worn it because I do only wear it during the Christmas season. And because I also haven't podcasted in a while, so I'm feeling a bit rusty. Let's get back into things. This is actually one of my favorite sweaters that I've ever knit. The main yarn is, let's see, I will come a little bit closer. The main yarn is actually pretty rustic. This is Barrett Wool Co, and it's her fingering weight. I do not remember what the blend of yarn is or anything like that. It has been a while, but her yarns are beautiful and rustic, but not too rustic. I am just wearing this completely against the skin. I have nothing but undergarment underneath. Yeah, and I love everything about this. I don't know how well you guys can, it's wrinkled because I just pulled it out of my drawer. But it's got this beautiful yoke, and it's not necessarily a holiday, like a Christmas pattern. The original version that Stephanie knit was just 2 colors, but she gave the option to make it like a holiday version by adding the 3rd color to do the little holly berries. And she might have actually put a separate chart in to include the berries. I'm not sure if the berries were even part of the original design or not. I just can't remember because it's been 2 years. But so I dug into my stash of minis for the coordinating colors. I'm trying to move around a little bit so you can see the little, there maybe a little bit of shimmer that you can see in there. Because while this yarn for the main color is very rustic, I used a yarn that had some sparkle to it. That was some sock yarn, mini skeins that I just randomly pulled from my Knitterly thing stash to do the color work. So it was really perfect, and it's one of my favorite sweaters. The fit is beautiful, and I would 1000% knit this again. if I didn't have like such a long list of things that I wanted to knit and projects to finish, I would definitely knit this one again. So this is like 1000% highly recommend this pattern. And if you've not knit it, give it a try. Again, it is Stephanie Lotven is the designer, and it's called Garland Pullover. And that's what I'm wearing today. So let's move on into finished objects. I only actually have some finished objects to show you guys today because it's been a couple months since I last recorded. I've really not been knitting that much. I have been doing so much natural dyeing and so much foraging because the autumn months are just really great for getting out and collecting the mushrooms and all the dye materials to stock up on for the winter months. So I used a lot of my free time to go out in nature, on the trails, to be collecting things for my natural dyeing. But now that it's cold, it's actually not that bad. Like Christmas yesterday was in the mid-50s, which is actually very warm for here. But it should be getting colder. We haven't had any snow yet, but like mushroom season is well beyond us now. And yeah, so I was using a lot of my free time in the fall to be out in nature and not inside knitting. So I'm really looking forward to doing a lot of knitting this winter and just catching up on projects. And yeah, I miss knitting. It's been a couple months that I just haven't done much of it at all. But one of the things that I did knit was this adorable pumpkin, and I'll hold it this way. And I don't think that I have showed this yet at all. I think that I showed you the finished yarn because this was yarn from Tabitha over at Long Island Yarn and Farm. She and I, if you've been on my Instagram, you probably know this, but if you've not, let me tell you really quick a little bit about what we've been doing. So when she found out that I finally got my official doing business as name and made StopDropAndKnit.com a real thing and a real website and a real shop and everything, she reached out to me and asked to do a collaboration together. And so we started in October, and what we decided to do was a monthly collaboration where I take 20 skeins of her yarn, and each month we focus on a different dye material. And so I will naturally dye 20 skeins of her yarn, actually 21, because part of the deal I made with her was that I really wanted one for myself, and then 19 is just a weird number. So we're doing 21 so that I get one for myself. And this pumpkin is what I knit out of the very first monthly collaboration that we did, which was Sunken Forest Sassafras. And I dyed the yarn using sassafras bark that I collected on Sunken Forest, which is a little nature refuge on Fire Island off the coast of Long Island in New York. So, and then I just used for the little stem, I just had leftovers from my Feel the Burn sweater, which I had also used my naturally dyed yarn for, and the stem was dyed with black walnut. So this was, I think the pattern was called Hello Gourdgeous. Gourd as in Gourd, Jess. And I don't remember who the designer was, so I'll of course have that information on the screen. But it took one skein of a worsted weight yarn, and I think there were 2 different sizes for the pumpkin, so this was the larger size because I wanted to use as much of that skein as I could. And so that is my first finished object, was this really, really cute pumpkin. And yeah, it's such a beautiful yarn, but just the amount of yardage it was, I don't know, I didn't feel like making a hat or something with it, so I decided to instead make a pumpkin. And I figured I could enjoy this every fall for, you know, a lifetime. And it's never something that is going to go out of style or anything. I will have this forever. and hopefully be able to pass it down to Owen one day and all of that good stuff. So that's finished object number 1. And let's see, I'll just stick that off to the side. I have a second finished object, and this also is something that I knit with my naturally dyed yarn, and all of this yarn was dyed with either sassafras bark, black walnuts, or mushrooms. And it's really, really hard to see the colors, so I'm gonna hold it back up. But I only had some mini skeins, and so I was looking for patterns that I could knit with mini skein sets. And so this is the Shifty maybe? It's one of Andrea Mowry's patterns that go with her. She's got, you know, the cowl and the shawl and the hat and a pullover that uses the same pattern. So I think the very first pattern she came up with was the cowl. So this is how the hat turned out. It's not blocked yet. I don't completely love the fit. I will try to put it on. Maybe it'll be a little bit better when I block it, but there's like all of this space up here. So I find it kind of awkward, and I know it's supposed to be slouchy, and so I just haven't figured it out yet. But the fit is fine. I just, that the hat itself, having all of the extra hat up here is just something that I'm not really used to. But I mean, it's pretty cute. It was a really fun pattern to knit, and it was a really good way to use the mini skeins. And then I still had a ton left over, so I'll show you. I guess we'll go into whips next. Yeah, let's go into whips next, because this is the only other finished object that I've got. So this whip will show the colors of the yarn that I used a little bit better, because I have them color blocked out. I don't remember the name of this pattern. I will insert it on the screen, but I had enough minis left to make some little mitts. And so I have very small hands. This is a sport weight 100% baby alpaca yarn, and I've got a whole bunch of these mini skein sets available in my shop, stopdropandknit.com/shop. And so this was just using I think the quintessential autumn set. And so the designer created this pattern after she knit herself the shifty cowl, or the shift cowl, like, you know, whatever version of the shift pattern the cowl is. She knit, and then she wanted to use the leftovers, and so she created this pattern. And it might even, I can't remember if it's a free pattern or if I paid for it, but essentially, like, you know, it just continues to use the same yarn. So these two were also done with sassafras bark. This beautiful green color was hydnellum mushrooms, and this purple color also came from mushrooms, a type of mushroom that looks like sea coral, but it comes from the ground under like big clusters of leaves in October. The mushroom is called Ramaria, Ramaria, and I love I just love the purple that you can get from it. It's a very surprising color if you see the mushroom and then see the purple. It's really fun. So I've got one finished, and I've started the second one. And after doing this one, when I saw that I had such a small amount of the darker version of the sassafras dyed, I decided to instead start the cuff with the darker color and then just do the whole rest of this section in the lighter one, and then I'll continue for the rest of it as I did for this one. So they won't be like 100% identical twins, they will be fraternal. But so I can just show you that because I got that part of it done. So I just used the darker bit for the cuff and then the smaller bit. And I have started doing the green. So I've got the, that's the color green from the hidden yellow mushroom right there. So that's currently what I'm working on. And then I'll have like this cute little set to go together if I can just figure out whether I'm happy with the fit of the hat. As I said, I still have to block it. Obviously, I have not yet woven in the ends. So, you know, it's a true whip. We're a work in progress there. But I think it's really cute. My hands are so tiny that I just used the same exact size needle. I think the designer put to use a US size 6 for sport weight yarn, and I saw out of the few people that knit the pattern, they all, I think, kind of agreed that a size 6 was too big. So I had just used the size 4 for the hat, and so I just kept the same size 4 for the needle size for the mitts, and it just turned out perfect for me. But I think for somebody else who doesn't have such tiny hands, this would definitely be too small. So just keep that in mind. And I've got some other whips. I'm gonna take this off. So yeah, so a couple, an Andrea Mowry pattern that still needs to be blocked, and then a mitt pattern, all using my naturally dyed yarn from one mini skein kit. So that's been really fun. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I guess we will start with the Stephen West GeoGradient. I was trying to think of the name of it because it's been so long since I've worked on it. Since I was just talking about my naturally dyed yarn, I can just go ahead and show you guys another example. So I have only so far finished clue 1 of the GeoGradient, and I set it aside just because life and busy, and I wasn't knitting a whole lot. But I can finally show you what my finished clue 1 looks like. So this is Stephen West GeoGradient, and all of these were dyed with avocado. All of the peachy pinks were avocado, and the grayish brown was black walnut with an iron after dip, I think. So yeah, so that's my clue 1. Let's see, I've woven in and snipped my ends for the most part. What I'm not really happy with, and I probably messed this up, but it just, to me, this really looks sloppy, just like the way that the joins are. I'm gonna get up close and dirty and show you my dirty work, okay? So I think once this is put together as an entire shawl, I don't think anybody's gonna notice, but I'm pretty self-conscious about it because I take a lot of pride in my knitting, and I'm a Virgo, so I'm a perfectionist, and I just want everything to be nice and tidy. And for some reason, just joining the triangles together, it's just not nice and tidy, and like there's these holes, and the colors don't all line up super well, and I don't know, it kind of bugs me. Not enough that I want to do it again. So I'll probably at some point when I knit on this again just keep going, but I think it just, the joins of the different sections just look sloppy. And so I don't know how much of that is my knitting and how much of that is just the finickiness of that type of knitting technique. So I'm not really sure. But again, like, I think from a distance, probably nobody would be able to tell, right? So I'm trying to figure out where to hold everything up. Yeah, I don't think it's something that anybody's likely to notice from a distance. So I think I'm just going to keep going with it whenever I pick it up again. And I do really like the finished GeoGradient shawl and everything. So I think, you know, it's a project I'm definitely going to continue with. I love my yarn. This is using my Luxe base, and so I've not knit anything with my Luxe base. I actually have a kit in the shop that it's very similar in the colors. I don't think it's 100% like avocado, but the way that the colorways work, they're very similar looking to this. So if you like these colors, again, it's a 4 skein kit. It's fingering weight. It's my Luxe base, which is merino wool, mulberry silk, and royal alpaca blend. And it's, you know, it's very drapey and soft and lovely. But one of the kits in there is very similar to this colorway. Not exact, but pretty close. So if you like this, you might want to go check that out. Yeah, so I've got a finished clue 1, and that is all. And then last time I spoke with you guys, I was struggling to get up the patience, to just work myself up, to have the patience to sit down and start my husband's sock number 2. All because it's a toe up pattern, for no other reason. I have knit so many socks in my life, and this is my first toe up pattern, I think. First or second, but it's the first one that uses the Judy's, the Judy's Magic Cast On technique, something like that. So it's my first time doing that. And yeah, I think it's actually my very first toe up pattern. I was thinking of my 2 at a time socks and thinking that I knit those toe up, but no, I didn't. Those are just my first 2 at a time socks, and those were cuffed down. So yeah, this is my first toe up pattern. It's not hard. I remembered it being really, really finicky and just not wanting to deal with it again. But so we left off that I had finally worked up and wound the yarn for the second sock. So you'll be happy to know that a couple of weeks ago, I got past it, and one night I sat and I did the toe, and now I have like half a foot. And I am working on these. The pattern is super simple. He's got size 12, United States 12 feet. So, I mean, you guys can see that this is practically Christmas stocking sized. It's huge, but it fits him perfectly. And the yarn is from Gage Dye Works, and it was a collaboration yarn with Andrea Rangel from, where she's from. She's the designer of all those like alternate books and everything. Canada, I think she's from Canada. And Gage Dye Works is a Canadian yarn company as well. But this is the Checklist of Birds pattern, and it's the Great Blue Heron colorway. And so this is what that colorway looks like. I have shown you guys this in so many podcast episodes, but now I've actually got the second one going, so hopefully that will be done. I don't know if I can get it done before the new year, but I might try. So we'll see. So it didn't end up getting done for Christmas or anything, but now that it's going, it's going to be so much easier to just sit and get it done. So that's the status of my husband's socks. Technically, these would go in the knitworthy category, but since I don't have that much knitting, I think I'll just keep it in the WIP section for right now. Yeah, that's everything that I have been working on. It's not been a lot, but it's good to actually show it and catch you guys up and just say hi. And I am determined to be podcasting much more regularly in the new year. I keep saying that, I think the last few episodes, like that I'm going to get back to it, but I really need to. And I really miss it, and I think just doing more frequent podcasts and maybe some smaller projects and just making sure that I'm knitting more, which I should be now that it's winter and I've got a few weeks in January where I don't have a lot going on. So that'll be really good to get back into it again. That's all the knitting that I have to share with you today. So I still have some spinning and I have some acquisitions, not a lot, but some. I also wanted to share with you guys a little crochet project that Owen did. I am thinking of having like a little Owen's Crochet Corner segment of my podcast and seeing if that's something that Owen would be interested in doing. So let me know if maybe when he gets back from the movies, maybe I could get him to sit down and like record a little thing and show this off himself. But for right now, I'll show you really, really quickly what he did. Itch on my nose, sorry. So yeah, I'm going to try to have Owen's Crochet Corner because he is addicted to these Woobles kits. And I bought him this in November, and he crocheted this fox almost entirely by himself. And I'm so proud of him. These kits are actually ages 12 and up, and he just turned 9. So he actually did this right before his 9th birthday, or kind of right around that time. And I think he did such a good job. I did help him with it. So itchy. The thing about the Woobles kits, I have one. This is one of my acquisitions. Where did it go? It's up here. So this is one that I got for Christmas. So this is one of my acquisitions. I'll just show you this now. And I got the llama kit. This one's actually an intermediate kit. But what's really great about it is, you know, they're really actually pretty pricey. And if you're somebody that already knows how to crochet, you might not want to invest in the kits. I think they have just the patterns available too. But on their website, they sell the kits. And so he's gotten a whole bunch for Christmas, and he's got about a dozen of them now between family members that gave them to him and Santa and mom and dad, because I want to capitalize in on this interest in crochet because he's really, really great. He says to me, he's like, Mom, you're not allowed to crochet. I'm the crocheter in the family. You're the knitter. So he's not too thrilled that I picked up the llama kit for myself and not him. But that's just the way it goes because it's a llama. Hello, I have to do it. I did help him. So what's really great is that the video instructions that come with each kit, you scan a QR code and that brings you to the pattern, and it's got it all written out, but it has a video, and they're like 30 seconds to 1 minute tops, these little videos. And she is so great. She walks you in such detail. I'm so sorry for my itchy nose. She walks you in such detail for each step of every little thing. And it also, these kits start with, I forget which side it is. It might be the bottom. I'm not sure if it's the bottom or the top, but like the magic loop bit, it starts with that already done and a couple of stitch markers already in place. Because doing that little magic loop thing, magic circle, or I don't really crochet, so I don't know the right terms, but that is actually a bit tricky. And so you get to do that later on in the pattern. We had to do a different version of that to do the belly. And it was much more finicky. So I thought it was great that it got you to the point. It's like in knitting where you want to teach somebody to knit. Some people are of the school that you want to just teach them how to cast on right away. And other people will do the casting on for the person that they're teaching to knit so that they can first just start right away with the knit stitch and not have to worry about casting on. So it's that same idea with having it started, and that way he's just learning right away how to do the single crochet stitch and how to do an increase stitch. And then he was off, and you know, it breaks down the pattern, so you always know, it tells you in the videos how to read the pattern, and it was so great. So I really think the kits are worth it. They are $30 or $25 if you don't need a crochet hook. So we got this one at Joann's. It was $30, and you cannot use a coupon in it in Joann's. So I was a little hesitant to spend the full price, but Owen finished it. He was able to follow the videos, and that alone for me was 100% worth it. I did sit by his side throughout this entire fox, and I helped him just keep track of how many stitches, and you know, they show you how to count the stitches, they show you how to do absolutely everything. I helped him like just move the stitch marker. I helped him with some of the smaller bits. Like I think I did the nose, and I did the stitching for the nose, and I did the ears, and I might have done the tail too, because he was a little bit like, I just want him to be done and stuffed and ready to play with. So I did help him with a little bit of it, but he did the entire body on his own, and he also did the entire belly on his own. And so as you can see, his tension is a little bit loose, and he was finding it a little bit difficult, not only to like keep the tension consistent, but he liked doing it looser because it made it easier for him to see where all the holes were. And so I just let him do it loose because he kept going with it. And not every round has the absolute complete number of stitches or anything, but it's okay. He is so happy with it. Now that he can see that the reason we keep the tension steady is so that we can't see the stuffing through it. Now that he's on like his next couple of projects, he's more mindful about keeping the tension a little bit tighter. He's also much more comfortable with it now. So, you know, he just loves him. This is called Felix the Fox, and he wanted to get Felix the Fox because one of our bunnies is named Felix. So now we have 2 Felixes in the family, and he's so cute, and Owen is so proud of it. So yeah, it'll be after 9 o'clock when he gets home from the movies. I don't know if he will feel like sitting down and talking about this or not. Maybe tomorrow before I edit everything together. So maybe you'll see Owen, maybe you won't, but he might want to have his own little crochet segment every once in a while. So that might be really cute. Whenever you're ready, you can go. You want to wait till after Daddy comes in?
Hi everybody, I crocheted this fox named Felix by myself with video instruction from the Rubles.
Was it fun?
Yes, it was fun.
Yeah? Are you going to be all shy? It's so cute. It turns out really, really great. How were the video instructions? Were they easy to follow?
No. Yes, they were.
Yes?
They were really easy to follow.
Yeah, and so how, do you remember if it started from the butt or from the top of the head?
It started from the bottom.
From the bottom? Yeah, I don't really remember. But
I don't know. I think it was top or bottom. It was either... I think it was top. Yeah, it was top. It was top.
It was
top.
top?
It was top. It
Yeah?
was top. It was top. It was top. Top.
So,
I'm letting that part out.
do you feel really proud of Felix?
Not really.
What?
Video instruction.
What do you think? Do you want to make more woobles?
I'm already starting making another wooble.
Which ones have you started already?
I started
Do you wanna show?
a gingerbread man.
Do you want to get it and show everybody which ones you started?
I'm going to do this one.
This one? Okay.
I started... Ow! Oh,
Sorry.
your bag is up. I started this rainbow Bjorn
the narwhal.
Bjorn the narwhal.
Uh-huh. And you got that as a Christmas present from my aunt, right?
And my aunt.
Yeah, and what else did you start? The gingerbread man one is on the...
gingerbread. I do not... Gingerbread man. I do not want to show him.
Okay.
I haven't even done one increase stitch yet.
Oh, you don't have to show it. Did you want to show the yarn that's right there for the narwhal?
Puff. No, I'm done.
You're done? Okay.
Bye.
Okay, so let's take a break and move on to spinning. Okay, so let's talk about some spinning. I haven't been spinning in quite a while. I think as soon as it got too cold to sit outside at the Historical Society, that's actually where I do a lot of my spinning during the year when Owen is in his theater rehearsals. So as soon as the weather got too cold and daylight savings hit and it was too dark, I really couldn't sit outside and spin in the dark at the Historical Society because it just wasn't any fun. So it's been a while, but I'll show you a couple things that I was working on that I plan to finish up indoors pretty soon. So since we were just talking about my rabbit named Felix, I have two rabbits actually. I've got Felix and Elmer Fuzz. And so they're super cute. They are both English Angora rabbits. And I got them in the spring. And I am starting now to work with their fluff a little bit, their Angora. I don't know if it's fur or wool. I guess it's really wool. It's just different, but they're Angora fiber. We'll just call it fiber. And so this is not good spinning quality fiber, what I'm using right now. I have since, they've had, like, this is their baby coat, or this is actually Felix's baby coat. And I was just so excited to start spinning it right away. So this is just, you know, some of his fluff. It's all short bits from cutting it, and the baby fiber is not the same quality as when they actually grow their adult coats. But it's still just beautifully soft. And we're back. Okay, sorry about that. My memory card filled up and I had to stop and erase a whole bunch of previously recorded podcasts. I don't need to keep that stuff, so it's all good. So let's talk about Felix and spinning his fur. So this, for fluff or fiber, whatever you call it, just his fluff. He's floofy. So this is some of his. Are we not going to focus now? What did I do? Let's try this again. Let's try to get the. Why is that off? I want the focus on. Will this focus? There we go. Okay. All right, so here is some of his baby fluff. And I had started spinning it over the summer, maybe like several months ago. So I have like this one tiny little ball of yarn that I spun with his baby fluff. It's gonna be really hard to show this, but there we go. So it's just so fun, but it doesn't spin well because the baby fibers are so thin and they're so short, and so it's you can see it's like really like stubbly and everything, but I don't care. I was so excited to just have a little bit of his baby fluff to spin. And so it broke actually, and I decided that this was a good amount, and so I've got another spindle going, and I haven't done this. It's been a couple months since I even touched this, but it's still just so exciting. So when I fill this spindle up, I'm gonna ply these two together, and I'm probably not gonna do anything with it other than just have this like little mini skein of Felix's baby fluff, just to keep. And then whatever is left from this is just going to be relegated to stuffing for like fiber and like, you know, like the little boobles or like little stuffed animals or something like that, because it's really not great quality spinning fiber. I have since, all right, so that's what I've been doing with Felix. And since, like, recently, I have obviously given him maybe 3 haircuts so far, because over the summer I couldn't, you know, even it wasn't long enough yet to really justify cutting it for spinning fiber, but I felt so bad because it was hot in the summer, and so at that time it was more important for him to be comfortable. So I did not do a good job when I did all of his haircuts and everything of separating out what was good, clean fiber and what was, I mean, if it was really gross, I separated it and threw it out. But, you know, there were some second cut things that I didn't really bother separating out at the time. So I've got probably a dozen bags, Ziploc bags full of his fluff from various haircuts, because each haircut takes about 3 days for me to do with him. But last time his fluff grew back, he started molting like in September, and so I've been able to brush it out now, and so the fiber is much longer when you can just brush it out than when you have to cut it. Plus, you're just really getting the top quality spinning fiber when you can brush it out, because you're not also getting the guard hair as it grows back in. So it's been a really interesting process to like just go from like his first little baby fuzz to baby fiber to like more of his adult coat coming in. And so I've been just sorting it to get like which parts are ready to just be spun, which fibers are clean, but I'm going to need to card because they're not really long enough to spin. And then other fiber that's either soiled or just yuck that I just throw out. And then anything that doesn't fit into the good quality to spin category, but better than throwing out, is going to be saved to stuff like stuffed animals. So I had bought several months ago, I haven't not used these yet. I tried a little bit because they're a little bit dirty, but I bought these Ashford carders so that I can take the fiber that's not quite long enough to spin, and I can get the fibers, like card them all into the same direction and make those shorter fibers more spinnable. So I have yet to play with these, but I'm hoping to get to that pretty soon because I'm almost done sorting through his fiber. And then I'll be doing the same with Elmer's. So Elmer is, let's see, Felix is a black English Angora rabbit. So the blacks are like, his fiber is black as a baby. I think it's called a self. So he's a self, like it's just black. So it's kind of more gray, and then it kind of turns from black as a baby into like a more like salt and pepper kind of color. And then Elmer is completely white. So it'll be fun, especially some of Elmer's fiber that maybe isn't as clean as I would like it to be. Maybe I can even experiment with dyeing it at some point. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting more into the working with my Angora fiber from my bunnies process of things. So that's the first part of my spinning. I have one other spinning project to share, so hold on. So now I just have to revisit my card and see what this is. So I subscribe to the Paradise Fibers Fiber of the Month Club, and let's see, this was from their June 2023 Fiber Club, which was this. I think it was called Make Paradise Where You Are. So I had already showed off the Staycation blend, and now I've been spinning. I can show you that again because I have it right here, I think. Yeah. So the Staycation blend I had already spun up. It's so pretty. So this is 100% finished. Like I wet it and everything. I have no idea how many yards it is. I don't remember. But the blend, that was 2 ounces, and it was undyed Polworth, undyed blend consisting of 60% Polworth wool, 20% mulberry silk, and 20% yak down. So that's what this one is. Is this the yak that, yeah, this must be the yak that I'm working with right now. Okay, so now I'm working with 2 ounces of depigmented yak fiber. See, it's been so long since I have been spinning this that I completely forgot what it even was. So I have it about 3/4 of the way done. This is what I have left of the yak to work with. So it's depigmented yak. It is really, really soft. So this is the first yak that I've ever worked with. I had finished 1 spindle worth. So this is 1 singles. And it's coming out so nice. Let me see if, oh, I have it tucked in there. So I'll just do this a little bit to show you. So I don't know what weight, this may be a sport weight right now. So really, really nice, beautiful spin. It's a little, it's been a while since I've spun it. I want to say it's like a little bit slippery, but I've been spinning it again, and since I talked about this last, I've done this much more. So yeah, and I've only got this much left to go. So I do definitely want to finish this up pretty soon, and then this one will be done. The third thing that came in that Paradise fiber bag was some silk cocoons, which was really fun. I have not done anything with these yet. I think they even have like a video up on their channel showing you how to work with these. I mean, they're all kind of like stuck together. But this is pure silk cocoons, which is pretty fun. So I don't know when I'll get to this, but yeah, I was thinking possibly I could do something like a project with these 2 together, maybe. We'll see. I think that would look really nice. I love working with the undyed fibers and just like the natural colors. I think they're so beautiful. So yeah, so this is a project that I should get back to really soon and just finish up the spin and get that plied together, and yeah, finish the yak yarn and see how that turns out. So yeah, that's all the spinning that I have for you today. And so my last segment today will be acquisitions. I have a few things, not too many. So if you don't like acquisitions and are going to bow out now, then thank you so much for watching, and I will see you probably in the new year. And if you're sticking around, then let's have a look at the few things that I have to show off. Okay, so acquisitions. I got just a little bit of yarn for Christmas, actually from my parents. So they went on a cruise in September, I think, and they picked up some yarn for me when they were in Italy. One of the places their cruise stopped was, I think, Venice. And so they got me some Italian yarn, I think from Venice. This first one, so my husband wrapped it up for me because my parents, they live down in South Carolina now, so they had kind of left it with him for a while, and he wraps this up. So this is Cessia Talent, probably. It's 100% virgin wool, and it looks like a sock yarn to me. And my husband gave this one to me yesterday for Christmas, and he said, I'm claiming this one for myself. So I think I'm supposed to knit him some socks with this, but that's what the label looks like. So, you know, I've never worked with this yarn before, but I think it's a really, really beautiful color. So I just think it's funny. Like, he literally handed me the gift yesterday. He's like, I'm claiming this one for me. So a gift that will then go to my husband eventually. I'm pretty slow working for him. And then there are two other skeins, and these are both Lana Gatto, and it says made in Italy, and it's called Avorias. Have no idea. Let's see. It's 100% fine merino wool. Superwash. It says superwash and machine washable. And yeah, that's all I can tell you. I think it just has like numbers for the colors and everything. But I got these two colors. And so that's what the label looks like, and that's both of these colors. So those are really, really pretty. So probably I'll be making socks with all of these at some point. So that was all gifted yarn from my parents. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for picking those out for me. They're really pretty. And then I ordered some more things from Susan B. Anderson. You guys know I love all of her kits. So one of the things that I have been meaning to do for Christmas is to knit all of us Christmas stockings, because I think as knitters, all of us have that desire. Maybe not, but I think if you knit socks, Christmas stockings is like a logical thing to knit. And I think homemade and hand knitted Christmas stockings are just really lovely. And it's been on my list to do for several years, but I just haven't done it, and I had not found a pattern that I was really excited to knit until Susan B. Anderson released kits. And so I still have to buy the pattern. I will put a picture up of these adorable woodland critter stockings. So there is a rabbit with a mushroom pattern. So obviously that's going to be mine. There is a bird, which could go either to my husband or to Owen, because Owen really likes birds too, but my husband definitely likes birds. So bird is probably going to go to my husband because I showed them to Owen, and I was thinking he was going to want the squirrel, and he definitely wants the squirrel. And there's also a deer. So they're all cute. I'm probably just going to knit all four because I don't know. I just couldn't decide which ones. So I got the yarn to knit all four stockings. So it's really pretty. So I definitely have to purchase the pattern separately, but like here is for the green stockings, and it's just beautiful. And we have a really cute woodland critter tree skirt around our tree, and Owen's nursery when he was a baby was woodland critter theme. So these stockings are definitely us. I showed them to my husband, and he loves them and thinks that they're beautiful. So he's really excited about it too. So that's the green and white. I don't know exactly which colors. Oh, okay, I do. So the white is called Birch. So I don't think she always has these in stock, but you can certainly, she does sell the wool separately from kits. It's a worsted weight yarn. It's 250 yards worsted weight. So whether you just like the pattern, or I just love working with her yarn. Again, this sweater was knit with this yarn, but the fingering weight version. Her yarn is just so beautiful. So this is her Wisconsin woolen spun. So, you know, it's 100% American wool, which is lovely. And this is Laurel, which is the green color. So I just know that these are going to be beautiful. And so I'll show you the other one that has the red. So it also uses, I think it uses the birch again. Yeah, it's the birch again. And then the red is the color jam. So it's just so pretty. It's a really beautiful red. So I got that. So I got 2 of each. So each stocking, I guess, uses, there's a fair amount of color work throughout the entire stocking. So I'm guessing it uses like an equal amount of both of these. They're full skein. So you could probably at some point during the year, if you wanted to purchase just those colors and skeins, you don't have to wait for her to put out a kit. I think she had released them initially over the summer at some point, and I didn't have the ability to purchase the kits at that time. And then she did a re-release of just, you know, stocking those colors together as kits to purchase. So in December. And so I just grabbed them so that I could knit them throughout the year and hopefully have some of them at least done by next Christmas, maybe all of them. But I think that would be super fun. And I picked up a couple other little kits from her as well. So I don't remember. I think that this one is really just maybe like a little ornament. And it's called Wee Woolen's Kit. I'll stick pictures on the screen, because I think that they're like for ornaments or something. Let's see, it comes with a whole bunch of things. So it always comes, I'll show you the blank part, but it comes with a download code. Yeah, it's a ornament set pattern. And I just don't remember how many you can make from each. But it comes with these 3 colors, and I have no idea what colors these are. She gives you just enough to make, you know, a certain amount of them. They're so pretty though. Wonder, is this the jam color or is it different? I'm not sure. No, those reds are, I think they're a little, yeah, they're a little bit different. So it's not jam, but it's pretty close. So I'm not exactly sure what those are, but they're just so beautiful. I love it so much. And then it comes with, let's see, it comes with a little bit of like baker's twine. And oh yeah, that's right. And it comes with these little wooden hangers so that you can hang them on the tree. It's so sweet. So it must come with enough to make like 3 different sweaters. So it comes with 3 little miniature hangers. So cute. And I think that she sells these separately in like an accessories portion of her shop too. So if you wanted to use your own yarn but just wanted to get like some baker's twine, which you can get from anywhere, but the little hangers are super cute. I could picture myself going back to her shop and just ordering, you know, a bunch of mini hangers and just knitting up more of these little kits at some point using different yarn. So that was one thing I got, and there's one more thing that I picked up from her shop, and that is a Garland set. So this is called Double Dip Holiday Kit. Oh, the Double Dip Holiday Kit, I think what it was is that I was able to get both of these together for one price. These are sold separately, but she also had like a special where she did both of them together. So that's why it's called the Double Dip Holiday Kit. And this is with a sport weight yarn. The others for the ornaments must also be like a sport weight. So, and then this one is, I'll show you the picture. It's a cute little Garland set, and maybe an elf too. I'll have to see everything. I'll have to go back to the website and look, but I bet that this has enough to make that elf plus the little Long John's pajama garland. Is so cute. And so the colors for that, oh, and she's got these too. Okay, so these come with a bunch of little beads and little smaller hangers. I think you guys can see those hangers. They're much smaller than the other ones for the garland. So those are so cute. And then the colors that come in that kit are 2 greens, a red, and a pink. So, oh, that's going to be so adorable. It looks like my battery is flashing just in time for me to finish up and say goodbye. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so happy to be back, and now I'm paranoid that I have to say goodbye like really quick before the battery shuts off on me. So it was really fun to be back. I hope everybody had an amazing holiday, and I will see you soon with more videos in the new year for sure. Bye-bye.